Here I'm intimidatorily promoted. First, I want anybody to use cash or dance to different YouTubers. I want them to like the video, just so I know you watch one of them. Or you can be watching both, so you can subscribe on this video. If this was asking me this question, I would just subscribe because I do this thing. Gotta take my stamina. And plus, you gotta kill anyone you see. Because anyone can kill you straight 10 seconds. Friends are no mercy. Reason for different application of the law in upstate New York versus what kind of firearms you want to have access to in Times Square. And the court said, we hate that, and we're not going to do it. There is no difference geographically for law and the law. Moreover, New York, because you want to be friends. You can go pound sand. We are the law of the land, and we will tell you it's a shall issue, and that's the way that it should go. That's my message. That's your message.
So yeah, there's a challenge to the New York. I think the name, if I remember correctly, the name challenge was.
So today I'm going to change that name. Anyway, I'm going to get this to my friends right now.
And you had to say, like, here's why I want a firearm. And the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. You can't make people justify that.
I have to walk. Well, I just
have to go to the government and say, hey, if I remember correctly, that was the main thing in Bruin was about that. But you're right that there was I think one of the concurrences talked about the may issue versus shall issue. But basically, there's a discretion, usually the police department, to say, no, you can't get a license to carry. Whereas a shall issue state is, today's episode is brought to you by the Office of Massachusetts. If you're facing legal trouble in Massachusetts, whether it's an OUI, a firearm charge, or even just a clerk magistrate hearing, the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't the time to go out of the law. You need more than just a lawyer. You need a legal team that knows how to fight and knows how to win. That's why people across Massachusetts turn to law office and Massachusetts. With years of experience in criminal defense, family law, and immigration, we've got the track record and the passion to defend your rights. We've successfully represented clients in some of the toughest situations out there, from first-time offenses to serious felonies. We've helped people protect their record, their families, and their freedom. So don't wait until it's too late. Visit wpetersonlaw.com to schedule your consultation or call 617-295. That's wpetersonlaw.com and 617-295. Stay informed, safe. Now, why don't we talk about that difference between the may issue and the shall issue? I mean, the may shall language you see in a lot of different areas of law, and it is, kind of like conjunctive and disjunctive. It's sort of, there's a way that things are when they are the law, and it's one of these funny things where if you're like illegally, you're kind of a nerd. You like to see the way the law shakes out. Single words can have a huge amount of meaning. Because there's sort of the way that the courts look at it is they give the legislature a lot of credit and they say they must have meant every single thing they put in here, and anything they didn't put in on purpose. And this gets into stuff like you never wrote the dissent of the 8th Amendment case where cruel and unusual punishment, actually cruel and cruel is not illegal as long as it's not cruel. So that's from I think that's 2000. They shall be things like when you have a may issue, it totally boils over the idea that you have a constant legal right to this thing. So may take away that right from you. The issue is much more in line with what we all understand the Bill of Rights to be. Like, you have to do this. Like, unless there is another law that looks at this, there's no real discretion here.
start with the presumption that it's going to happen. And then if there's a reason that it can't happen, then we get into that. But May's like, maybe you want to just right, maybe you don't. Do you have a reason? Do you not? Do you need one? And so May is very like nebulous. I think is a legal term. Sometimes it's like really hard to pin down. But shall is a very fixed point, and then from there you kind of go. And so it's amazing we lived with May issue for as long as we did. Frankly.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I do think that there's a lot of distinctions between May issue and shall issue. Like if you read laws and other people talk about it, they're like, oh, we want to be a shall issue state, we want to be a May issue, like whatever. When I practiced in Alabama, it was a shall issue state, and there's basically this back door though. It's like it shall issue unless the chief believes you address publicly. Unless the chief, exactly. Like it sounds right. It's like, oh, shall issue. That's what matters. But then what matters is what comes after. Right. So here, like if everyone makes a big deal about it, I don't really think it's that much different, to be honest with you. I mean, this may be I think in this context, we're kind of skipping ahead here, but Massachusetts switched to a shall issue state, but it's still shall issue a few times repeatedly. So it's not really a shall. But anyway, the case I had in Alabama, it was like this guy had a marijuana case, and he was like, oh no, I'm denying you because I find that you're a drug addicted person. And I filed this petition in Alabama District Court, and like they've never seen it before. Like the clerk's office called me up and they're like, what is this? I'm like, so go to the statute and you can read it. Like there wasn't a category in it for e-filing it and all this stuff. And so that was my kind of first exposure to it. It was like, we're talking about like 10 years ago now.
So to answer your point that may and shall may not be different, I think, again, I don't want to jump ahead either, but I think that the decisions we plan to talk about that came out this year, I think put a harder line on what shall has to mean. Like if you're going to backdoor, you're going to say shall, but there needs to be something fixed and legal about that. It can't be shall issue unless the chief has a weird feeling about you, right? Like because then you're in May territory. Then you if you've given a bunch of weird caveats. And so I think that's where Martine and Donnell come out. And they're like, it's not that loose, right? And we have to pay some respect to the fact that the law exists in this context.
That's why I think in California it's too pro here today, because that is what we call a teaser.
Teaser. Pay attention because later in the podcast we come back up. We teased the Marquis Donnell thing, but I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because we have to go back. Marquis Donnell, when you read what they talk about, you can really get the sense of where the room came out. And in fact, I think you've been looking at this a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, Brooklyn, it doesn't have to be one of the weirdest drafted amendments in the Constitution. Like, you have this thing about a and then all of a sudden it goes into how does the well-regulated militia play into the right to carry firearms? Bruin settles that. I mean, Heller did to a certain extent, but Bruin says, yeah, the Second Amendment, that applies to the individual's right to carry guns. And any in colonial times, which is, I feel like, not to get into Supreme Court justices here, but like Scalia loves this case, right? Going back to what was the founding understanding of the Second Amendment and the founding regulation of someone's firearms. First, it was the Second Amendment, and then there's the historical precedent for it. And sort of create that framework for any sort of thing dealing with gun violence, looking at what is the historical precedent for it. Can you go back to the late 1700s? I mean, how do you get the people living here? not have a lot of case on Massachusetts, and this kind of forced Massachusetts to say, the Second Amendment means what the Second Amendment says, which is that it protects individual right to carry a firearm in Massachusetts. And there were cases that came out after that talked about solidifying that individual right in Massachusetts.
Deals with things like privacy, which means like the most important language is in the front. And as you pointed out earlier, the second is weird because there aren't, searching my mind here, we know why the Third Amendment exists, and it's because the British are ordering troops into this house. But it doesn't say in the Third Amendment, thanks to the British, no more soldiers in private homes. The First Amendment doesn't say tyrants hate free speech, so we need free speech. The Second Amendment says because you need well-regulated militia, you can't take away people's guns.
Right.
And it's sort of that it has a justification in there. Could be an artifact of the, people who wrote this thing couldn't agree about the Second Amendment until they put a justification in there for it. But and that may be where we landed, right? But the court has essentially said we're going to ignore those words, right? And that's where we are. And again, Justice Stevens has a disagreement with that. It feels like at this point, especially with the Marquis and Danella, it's trickled down now into the states. Like it's gone. And I don't think that it's well beyond the scope of this discussion for us to talk about, originalism and strict constructionists and textualists and, all the other different ways that the courts and legal academics have decided to actually figure it out. But it's worth keeping in mind that where we are now is pretty far away from where we were like 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, if I remember Hello right, it was about whether you can prohibit guns from fire in DC. Like DC was like, you can't even have a gun in your house. Hello was like, oh no, maybe you can.
I think in my memory, Heller was DC banned handguns because they could have handguns on it, and the court was just like, absolutely not. Like, we will not, whatever security or public safety concerns you have, it says right there, shall not be infringed. The right to keep your arms shall not be infringed. And that, look, it does say that. There's no argument. There's the first part, but who knows what our regulations are going to be.
Come on, kill me, I'm here!
Yeah, so I think that the headline, I know that, Second Amendment enthusiasts who are also familiar with law and wanted to hear about contextualism. But Bruin basically said there is a Second Amendment right to carry guns. It settled that debate about well-regulated militia. And it forced Massachusetts to say, yeah, there is a Second Amendment right to carry guns. Because before that, it was like, there were cases that said no. There were cases that said, if the government wants to take away your guns, they can. And Bruin forever settled that debate. So then it sort of had this sea change effect across the country where we're looking at statutes from the 1780s or whatever. And then I feel like Massachusetts, one of the things that reacted to that was this 2024 Firearms Act that went into effect back in that everyone was speaking out about the different things that it was going to cause, the different ripple effects for gun owners here in the Bay State. But what are the main provisions of that 2024 law and how they played out?
July of last year, where it expanded considerably regulations on firearms, ammunition, the kind of accessories you hear about in the news, like bump stocks and stuff like that. Firearms. I'm familiar with what a lot of these. If you're
Come on.
I just transfer first days. What's now been outlawed, what's considered firearms.
And then just hit the post on, then boom. You have like that money in there.
Yeah, so what?
Right?
Yeah, so like I think firearm is something that looks kind of like this. You pull the trigger, something comes out that says boom. What is a firearm?
So the maybe it's not entirely right, but one of the issues was that historically the law referred to firearms, I think, long guns and shotguns maybe. There was a repeated use of language that had firearms separate from things like rifles, which was very strange because it was horrible that every time you think of firearms, then like the rifle, the rifles is separate from firearms. And it's, I feel like Massachusetts, but because of the common law, think how old the common law is, there's so much that has just over time been kind of like pasted together, right? Like it's just sort of this over things that are layer and layer. It wasn't like somebody set out to do this from scratch. So what they now do is the act from last year says that if the law of shotgun rifle is that anything that can make a fire a projectile where bullets can be discharged. And this matters in the era of 3D printing, that I think you probably appreciate. Anything that may have been before, so clearly within the confines of the law, is now meant to be captured. Things about this, if you're interested in this kind of thing, you should look into it. When you have the parts to make it, when you in possession of the gun, right? So it's different if you're holding an assault rifle or a machine gun versus you have 10 machine parts on your vehicle that, under the right circumstances, and if you had put them together, could be an illegal weapon. Are they now illegal? And the answer is probably so. That's sort of like an omnibus push to capture a lot of stuff that, as technology is developed, certain things have come into existence that we have that the law doesn't necessarily capture. And I think it's got to be reminded to the legislature, all the stuff we talked about, 20 minutes. Nationally, there's an expansion of ownership, individual ownership rights. And if the law isn't careful about what is the courts are going to be obligated to err on the side of, well, no, I mean, if it's not expressly illegal,
Yep, someone used his face. Yep, someone got it.
The law essentially answers that. And it's counterintuitive, right? Because we spent the last 15 minutes talking about the expansion of firearms, right? But this law, and I wouldn't call it an attack, I think a lot of people did, it was not meant to follow what has happened with the Supreme Court. It was meant to try, I think almost you could say protect from a overbroad reading. And do you agree with that? Do you think that?
Yeah, I mean, I do see it as kind of a direct reaction to the Korean stuff and the more federal trends in the opposite direction. This is Massachusetts trying to say, well, no, we still have the right to regulate these things. And obviously, like, we're not going to be able to get into the whole thing. If you want to read the statute, you can. If you want to consult with us about your specific situation, we can talk to you about it. But this is not, obviously, we're not going to sit here and go through every single written page, because then I think this might be a 10-hour podcast.
The long bill.
Yeah. So then, one thing that is extremely firearms, what about assault weapons? How did it change that?
A ban on, like, Massachusetts I mean, one that I think a lot of people are surprised about, and is now even harsher, I guess, than it was, is if you have a magazine holding more than 10 rounds, it's better if it's produced rather than like 1992, I think it is. 92 and
Yeah, because it was the federal assault weapons ban is now expired. But it was 92, somewhere in the 90s, I think you're right.
And so if you have and you'll sometimes see if you're buying your shop, let's say it's a 3 days, and you can legally possess it. But if it's, one thing that you and I have seen plenty of times with clients who maybe they live in New Hampshire and they buy something perfectly legally at a gun store, and then they move just south the border, they bring it with them, and now they're in for a real serious headache if and when law enforcement comes on that magnitude only when you come out. So what this did, it tried to catch up to modern technology with assault weapons, and I think it probably also tries to catch up with any end runs around the 10-round restriction for magazines.
Yeah, and the magazine stuff is so tough too, because I mean, I've had clients who've had magazines that are the problem is they don't have serial numbers, so there's no way to conclusively say whether a magazine is pre-ban or post-ban. So it's a really unworkable formula. What about background checks? How did it change background checks?
So, closing the private sale loophole. So you need background checks for basically any firearm transfers. Some limited exceptions continue to exist. Immediate family members, I think temporary transfers. But private.
So that means that I don't have to do a background check if I give it to a family member, but otherwise I do have to just giving the gun to.
And that again was I still remember a time when you could buy a firearm from a friend of yours. But now licensed dealers conducting background checks. There's also a lot in there about information sharing between state and federal authorities, because as I think is probably going to be the content of a different blog, or a different podcast, disqualifying qualifiers, things that you actually eligible to have the information comes from a different state and there's not adequate information. What's the point of law? So I think that the law tries to essentially enhance some of that.
So another thing that the act did is it changed, and people were kind of freaking out about this, it changed the firearm safety course. Because when I did it, I did live fire, but now that's actually required for everybody.
Yeah, I got my license 21 years ago, and in the town I was living in, did not have to do live fire. So I think that is something that people probably will freak out about if they don't have a lot of experience, or if they're not specifically confident in their ability. But I mean, maybe you can kind of demystify that for them.
Yeah, I mean, when I did it, I think one of the big things is you have to actually handle a gun and be able to fire it and be able to hit the broadside of the barn. Basically, to borrow an old saying, because I can tell you when I did mine, some of those people who were sleeping through that class, I had to stand next to them when they were shooting, and I was like, I'm not sure they know what end the bullet comes out of. So the fact, and I don't think it's the worst thing to have.
This is
right.
It's a sick toy, by the way. It's not a violation of gun law.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the big things is that, it's making sure that people actually handle guns, and also has a written test component, which I think is a good thing because, if you can just sweep through the class, then you get your license to carry and you can go buy a gun tomorrow. But you and I talk to clients all the time about this, like the improper storage law. If you don't know how to store a gun, you don't know the basics of firearm safety, then maybe you shouldn't have a firearms license. And that's the
It's a serious thing, and I think, we've seen enough people get into serious legal trouble over it that it's probably better for me, just so that they don't get arrested and have the police come to their house or something entirely unrelated. Because we know that happens. You see a firearm on your kitchen table, trigger lock, and now you've got a charge. Now you've got a gun charge you got to wait through.
Yeah, the improper. I think that just knowing having some sort of written test, having some sort of accountability was part of this. I do think it's a good thing that people actually have to handle guns. I know that I had to, and I think that Boston had to. You had to go to Moon Island and shoot too, because I've had a lot of clients tell me about that. But there were a bunch of different things that this 2024 law did. Ghost guns, according to the law, you don't have to operate a criminal file anymore. There's this section of state police that will specify in every single gun file of ours that, yes, I got this gun, pointed it in here, shot it, and a bullet came out. I'm like, they would have to drive around the state and testify to that. So they don't have to do that. Obviously, you can do a lot of litigation, and by the time that this comes out, there may be some new litigation to come out about it. But the 2024 Act, I think it's kind of the act like the red flag laws to change that kind of expanded the red flag laws. Have you guys seen red flag laws? without the other party present say, yeah, I wanna take away this person's right to a gun, and some district court judges, yeah, all right, their guns are gone. And this kind of expands that as well. One interesting loophole that it did stop was that, there are two different kinds of restraining orders. There's 209A and 258E, which is like the restraining orders involving your family and restraining orders involving a stranger. The 209A, the restraining order, abuse prevention order, and then you but there wasn't the same provision under harassment prevention orders, 258E, and actually closed that loophole as well. So I feel like we're, like 6, 7 months, maybe 9 months out from the 2024 law going into October. I don't feel like it causes much. It's still something to be aware of.
May still be, but what they can and can't do, they may follow suit. I think we may see more prosecutions for safe storage issues, right? Because that was something that did get updated, right? The storage requirements. So
yeah. So how did the storage requirements get updated?
So I think mandating locked container or tamper is not under the direct control of the owner. And then again, if I have this correct, it doesn't matter if the thing is unloaded or not. So it's got that the unauthorized access, which I think is a tough one in family situations. I think I can recall a client who's, for reasons that are not, I think, professional for me to go into right now, lost his license was suspended. And when the police came to confiscate his weapons, they asked his wife, and his wife went and got them, and she didn't have a license. And so when she applied for a license, they said no, because you had unauthorized access. Right? I mean, it's interesting, basically accusing her, of inadequate storage safety because she could have access to it and she didn't have that license.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like improper storage is, you can understand why they wanted to do it. Like, you don't want kids getting guns, you don't want people who are unauthorized to get guns, but it's so abusive. And I had a client who, the police were literally pulling up to stop him. And he had a license gun, and he thought, okay, well, I don't want to keep it in my car and the police be worried, so I'm just going to drop it out my window before they get here. They're charging with improper storage. I mean, I could sit here and recount thousands of cases like this. I mean, it's just trigger lock, or it needs to be in a safe.
Yeah, and if you don't do that, that's just safe.
Exactly, yeah, because the safe could be accessed.
Yeah, because we don't be being like, well, it's the same we keep all of our passports. So of course my wife has access to it. You have a gun license? No. Okay. She had access to your guns. I mean, I get
yeah.
it.
You have access to the safe.
Alright, yeah, so yeah, there's a lot in there. You can plug it to that. I don't know if you want to jump into what we teased about earlier.
Yeah, I think that let's do a quick lightning round. What do you think? Is live fire training a good idea?
Definitely, and I mean, I'll expand on that. The way you phrased it, I think, was being able to shoot, you could shoot the thing while you're right? Like, I mean, this is done in a real functioning firearm. If you couldn't, we're basically guaranteeing that the only time it will ever come into play is when it gets used against you. It's not what you want. So I mean, I think I see arguments about how, if the police want to, this would be a possible test, and then also, cross that bridge when we get to it. But like, I think for now, it's prescribe what the bare minimum needs to be. But I mean, to the extent too, you want people to be able to have a license to carry, be able to safely handle the firearm. Like, I'm all for, but that's not really true if the person can't handle the firearm without shooting it accidentally.
I don't feel like you haven't seen lightning before, because lightning is a lot quicker than that.
I think do the same thing. Let's try this one.
All right. What do you think about the written test? Did LTC applicants have to keep if they know that they're safe?
If you can't see it, then why would you do it? Otherwise, they're like responsible, also responsible for those things. And I think that there are limits to how things can
You're also saying we didn't talk about earlier about record keeping for account sales. So do you think the gun dealer should have to keep those kind of records?
not small, but like someone who's worked in the system for a while, I think that you do need to be able to
Here, you know, you might want you guys are going through and figuring out who all the gun owners are. I don't have necessarily, but yeah, $100 for an LCC application. Do you think that's too high, too low? What do you think?
too high. You have to pay any amount of money to exercise it, right? Especially where there's so many things.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the next question. Do you think that this law targets responsible gun owners too much?
I don't know if it's targeted responsible gun owners. No, I think it's targeted responsible gun owners. I think that when you look at this, it's largely attempting to close loopholes that people have tried to exploit. And what is the loophole? It's a way around the law. It's not an attempt to follow the law. The law is it's like, but if I do this thing, I get to have my machine gun, and you can't stop me because it's a clever legal trick. Is that really messing with people who just want to exercise their rights responsibly?
I think the worry is that you, by having so many rules, the rule followers can follow them, the rule breakers aren't going to follow them. So, I mean, I do think there's a balance between those two things.
Sure. I don't disagree with that. I will say this. I think we were talking about this earlier, right? Where the law may feel responsive room, there is a federal movement towards greater individual liberty when it comes to Second Amendment rights. And this is maybe it's a counterbalance, maybe it's an overreaction, but it's these two things are moving. It's not like everyone's making it harder to get it done. That's making it easier and the state's making it harder.
Yeah. Currently, LTC is valid for 6 years. Do you think it should be longer than that?
Yeah, good boy. Nothing expires and you're not paying attention. No, this is, I think the concern I have genuinely, and look, it could be longer, it could be driving it shorter. There should be a swinging penalty, or if it, there should be a grace period for getting it back.
Well, I mean, if it expires, it's just a fine, I think, for having a gun. It's not like you're looking at 18 months.
That's fair. I don't want to pay a fine either, though, just to have some money. Yeah. You know what? No, keep the 6 years, but now we gotta have driver's licenses you can be read every 6 years. We take a driving test every 6 years.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to two cases that came out earlier this year, Marquis and John L. So these are really cool cases because I remember when they happened, there was a presiding judge in Lowell, Judge Coffey, basically got tired of all these people from New Hampshire coming down, and New Hampshire is basically the Wild West when it comes to guns. Like I think that don't they give them out at the hospital in New Hampshire when you're born?
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, the rule in New Hampshire, I used to prosecute in New Hampshire for about 4 years, and I think what you need to have in a firearm in New Hampshire is a pulse. And even then, it's like, I think, and there are obviously federal laws still technically apply, but as a prosecutor in New Hampshire, it was wild. I think they did away with like some of the last lingering state restrictions on firearms while I was prosecuting.
So yeah, and like this Judge Coffey basically, one of the things he talked about is that there's actually a mall that is, one part of it is in Massachusetts, one part of it is in New Hampshire. And a New Hampshire resident could legally carry a gun in one part of that mall. They carry the gun in the other part of that mall, 18 months in jail. And he just said, like, it's one of the most amazing opinions ever, because he just said, that's ridiculous. That sounds like, that's really unconstitutional to say that because I crossed this border something that is basically encouraged in one state can lead me to a mandatory minimum 18 months in jail in Massachusetts. So then in 2025, there are these two cases that come out, Marquis and Donnell, that are challenging the Massachusetts licensing scheme. I mean, I remember I was super excited when these cases were coming out because I thought that the SJC was finally going to have to say, yeah, this whole suitability stuff is not constitutional. But it seems like they avoided that.
Yeah, and they went some of the way, but not the whole way, right? They added some new language, but they didn't throw the whole thing out.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the difference between Marquis and Donnell? Donnell wins, Marquis doesn't. What's the difference between them?
So the key difference, I think, in the way the court evaluated these, right, is that Donnell's case is prior to the 2022 legislation that was itself a response to Bruin that, turned us into a type of shall issue from where we were a may issue, right? And so the court, without skipping a lot of the legal niceties, in Donnell's case, they basically say the may issue did not comport with Bruin, and it existed after Bruin. So the guy was being punished for under an unconstitutional firearms licensing regime. So he wins. Marquis, however, he's in the post-22 era, so he's in a shall issue. And so there are kind of procedural reasons why he lost in a way that may have helped him. But fundamentally, the regime, the court basically says, when you change the law, you did it right. So we're not going to, so where we punish the government in Donnell for not following Bruin closely enough, the Marquis, we're going to give the government some credit. But there are, it does get more complicated than that, and I don't know if you want to dig into them more. I do think that one of the bigger takeaways is, because I think your point didn't get them, so it qualified, right?
Yeah, they said that basically if you have a system where you have to have credible evidence of a public safety risk, then the chief can deny you on suitability grounds. Legally, it did, I feel like, change it from the sort of freewheeling nature of what suitability was before. There was obviously in New Hampshire, and basically the bench said that the criminal convictions can deny it based on substances and conditions that basically unlimited discretion. Like, the criminal state police, doesn't like your hair, you can deny you. Guidelines about public safety. But in litigating these cases, I can tell you it's not that much different from we don't like your haircut.
Right. I was going to ask you that because you very carefully were like, yeah, they threw a bunch of legal restrictions around it, but practically, what we're seeing in the district courts when we deal is that the courts, not going to name the judge to throw them under the bus, but have them citing to the Harris decision, which is from a lower court from the SJC, and is older than Marquis and Donnell, because it's kind of like, Marquis and Donnell does not override Harris, all it's going to say you have to be a little bit more, you have to have something more specific about the question.
Now, suitability, because you don't know, basically, even if you don't have any conviction or anything else, like involuntary consent or dishonorable discharge, the police can say it's suitable for license. It could include things any orders that you and anyone have a chance to contest. Anything and everything, in fact, suitability decision. And the idea that we have shallow issue plus they have to be suitable is somehow a restriction is ridiculous, because in realistic terms, like making a mistake on your application could mean you're not suitable. What is the connection between, I've forgotten that back in 1986, that case that I had, it was a guilty vacated instead of a continuous without a fine. Like, I had a license and the police denied me. It's supposed to be grounded in this public safety risk, but you talk to judges and everything is a public safety risk. Like, that's the problem with them having these judges. And that's the reason why we have You're not suitable because you forgot this case that you had, or you're not suitable because of this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden, the SJT just blesses this regime as, oh, well, this is like, there are very strict standards on this. It's like, no, they're not. This is, like, the current system is the same as the system Donnell applied under, but they just don't have the guts to say it. And that's the problem with doing any discretion. This argument don't have discretion in the other concept.
Right? Unless there's some disqualifier or some legal disqualifier. Shall softly is probably shall. But yeah, it's a tough situation to be in. I've seen people get denied.
Yeah, so I thought that we were going to make, maybe I guess I haven't talked to the people who are representing Marquis in this case about whether they're going to apply for cert with the Supreme Court. But if you start saying that you have a Second Amendment right that is just the same as any other right to have a gun, and then you start if making a mistake in your application is considered public safety, what is
The regime we're in is the district court judge is supposed to be able to say, you know, we find that this is not passing us. This is not a reason to deny this LTC. And I'm sure some of them have pulled the right, but there would be a lot of
Yeah, I represent people who have cases from 30 years ago that were dismissed because of denied for that. And it's still been held by every level of the court. Oh, but it's really just governance of the police, which is constitutional rights as governance of the police. Not just the just, yeah, you have the right against unreasonable search and seizures at the discretion of the police. You don't have to another thing, I mean, I think there are a lot of other interesting issues in there that the court kind of sidestep, potential future issues, like, they kind of bless this idea that you can treat residents of the state and non-residents differently, right? So if you are applying for an LTC and you're a Massachusetts resident, you apply with the local police, whereas you apply with state police if you're out of state, but there's a different process with different presumptions. And I feel like they blessed that here too in a kind of troubling way. And then there was also some other issues, like they mentioned the delays in getting an LTC. Do you remember when that part came up?
We understand the problem. We're not talking about that.
Yeah, so like Marquis, there was a line about you have a lengthy wait time to get an LTC may actually deny your constitutional rights.
It seems appropriate, right?
And but it's like, what is the lengthy wait time? I mean, it does kind of give us some more things to potentially litigate in the future. But yeah, it's 90 days that wasn't automatically unconstitutional. So they see people wait so long for something to get an LTC. But we could potentially be issues there. But yeah, I mean, I think we've just kind of scratched the surface here, Chris, on what changed in Massachusetts license carries in 2024 and 2025. Really settled in things, but I think it's just useful to know that there's some other stuff out there that we should pay attention to.
Guidance and clarity on it. Yeah, someone should write a book. Maybe even always something about the
You are. like to note to the Boston Barristers, just keep in mind that what we've given you is not legal advice in your particular situation. You should consult with a lawyer about your particular situation before making any decisions. We've tried to do our best to outline the basics of the law and how it's changed recently, but always do your own research the specific situation before. All right, thanks, Chris. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Thanks for coming on.
Okay, but I'm going to give you the rules that I have, okay, that I would ask us to try to abide by. One is to respect the team. Okay, respect the football team and the people that are here. And we're building our program. When we talk about when I got here, okay, and what my goal was, it was to build a program that you guys and the coaches and the staff go to be a part of, that can live in the
Yeah. I know.
As good as you possibly can be as an individual, as a player, and then as a team. The training staff, the equipment staff, the kitchen staff, these people are all here to help you. Okay, we're going to treat those people with the utmost respect. That's important to our owner, that's important to you, that's important to everybody here, in this building. Somebody asked me, are you worried about what went wrong last year? Why would I care about what happened last year? I'm worried about what's going to go right today, tomorrow, and the next year. I'm not worried about what went wrong. We're focused on what's going to go right and what's going to be there. Okay, the foundation is going to be built on things like trust. Do we trust you to do your job and to do what's right for the team on and off the field? Do you trust what the coaches are telling you so that it makes you better? When we talk about building a program, okay, the foundation is going to be built on things like honesty. The program is going to be built on honesty. Okay, we always talk about the truth. You want to tell the truth, you want to seek the truth, and you want to handle the truth. It's going to be built on accountability. When I was in the 5th grade, I had this hard-ass and every time you screw up, you made your right. And then there's the definition. You will take responsibility for my own. I can tell you anything to talk about.
Fresh meat.
But I know the definition of accountability. It's going to be built on respect. come to work and we communicate. If it's important to you, it will be important to us. I want you to understand it. It will be important to us. And ultimately, it's going to be built on the It is important to me that we get to know you. It's important to me that you guys get to know you. Because in the end, when it goes bad, like it does every season at some point in time, in every locker room throughout the National Football League, something is going to happen. How do we respond? Right? How do we help a teammate that's going through something? There's going to be an energy. We're not going to walk around. We're a long way off from there. Okay, but there's going to be an energy around this building. What you can expect. Let's get back to the middle. Let's get 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Would you guys all assume this is in the middle? I'll give you a little thing. Ready? Tony, did you notice anything? How we feel like that in the movie? And then when I said the picture of it, we're going to be along on this journey with you. You understand that? I don't care whatever happens to you. I want to do. Be along for the journey, yeah. I was kind of guiding along there, pushing a little bit, but not sure. There's a difference between somebody. We're going to operate this program. Is that we're going to be along on the journey. There's going to be some ups and downs, but that's the whole goal of what we're trying to do. Is to go along on this journey with you guys to get you more out of you than what you guys think. From today until however long we're together, we're going to build these relationships, get connections with what everybody needs. Understand, we don't care how you got here. You don't care how I got here. I don't care how you got here. The only thing that matters is what we do while we're here. Undrafted, free agent, first round, no round. Oh yeah! Nobody cares. This game doesn't care what car you drove in. When you go out there in between the lines, it doesn't care what car you drove in, or how big your house is, or any of that other stuff. All that matters is that you go along and do your job.
Patriots and Mike Vrabel have reached agreement for him to become the next head coach.
Very excited. Good on Bob Kraft and to make this change.
Great point. That's just a perfect story. Or 2002.
When we got months all these guys, everybody's got a different journey for the national football. I don't think everybody's again. What about the new head coach? I want to thank the teams that were willing to meet with me through this process and give me an opportunity to potentially meet their team. But in the end, I was experienced to me, to my family, and my soul that this was the place that I wanted to be. I want to galvanize our football team. I want to galvanize this building. The most important thing are the players. I want to provide a program that provides their ownership, but also the accountability of each other, and one that they'll be proud to be a part of.
Knowing that who confidence, but he also knows how to be very firm.
I think he's interesting. I think Mike is going to be a blend of several of the past regimes.
All you know is the only thing every question touches you.
I think he does that
Get started on your dream kitchen right now.
As a professional mechanic, your tools are essential for your living. Icon tools complete every repair without giving an inch. With broad selection and industry-leading warranty, you can count on Icon. Great value. With over 1,500 stores and interest-free credit on qualified purchases. Why pay tool truck prices? Go with Icon Tools. Tool truck quality, unbeatable value, only at Harbor Freight.
Mike Vrabel, Patriots. When you think I think Mike is actually the heartbeat. Mike is a chameleon, so he knew when he checked out the locker room, he said, okay, who I was going to go in and talk to with that day. He would play dominoes, got the bonuses on the dress, or with a cowboy hat, like I drop it out the country. That was Mike. He was kind of like a conduit to our space.
Well, I think that means that's a culmination of a lot of hard work, some sacrifice from other people.
Okay, got my bat. Bats always annoy me, so I'm going to use an annoying weapon.
There's a lot of people that helped me get that, and so I'm thankful for that and excited about the opportunity.
I think there's been a renewed sense of energy around the building since Mike Vrabel has returned. Certainly a familiar face, somebody that I, as a fan, am intimately familiar with his play style. And I think that always carried over into his coaching style and in his teams that we saw down in Tennessee.
Play start just like this. I start with my hands in and just throw my hands and let my feet fall.
We don't have Mike Vrabel back. He embodied what the Patriot way was: versatility, toughness.
His experience is what embodies what's great about the NFL.
Which I think he had 10 catches in his entire career with 10 touchdowns. So his rate next catch to TD is 100%. That's his all time.
Insane. Well, he was really good. I mean, he was very versatile, and that didn't just apply to the defense.
So I laid out there for him, and I mean, it looked like he stretched out for it, and he kind of tapped his toes. What a great catch.
Being able to play multiple positions, no matter what they asked him to do, he was always willing to do it. Of course, there's many famous moments that you recall, none more famous than when you score touchdowns in Super Bowls.
Because of his work ethic and the drive and his leadership skills, made him very special.
I thought Vrabel was a little bit unique in that regard because it wasn't just his ability to play tight end and sort of figure out another way to contribute. Also on defense, he was an edge guy. I mean, he was the guy that wanted to get after the passer. The year that I was out, actually, and then we had Vrabel play inside line, and he did well.
That's intercepted by Mike Vrabel. The victory is Denver turnover.
In terms of even just being that player that can go from an outside linebacker to a guy that's too long. I think that just showed as a player for me that he just knew every single aspect of the game. I think I've had a great opportunity to play for, to coach with, and coach for some unbelievable mentors. People that have helped shape me: Romeo Cornell, Belichick, multiple coaches that were here.
It was very easy to picture Mike as a coach when he was a player. It really was, because he was very spiritual at the same time. One of the best fundamental players that I think I've coached. And you can look at Washington. I mean, different more stance.
I just see more light a lot of times. I mean, I took a look at him when he's called. Okay.
Pass.
Some of those things that make him a great player also make him a great coach.
Take a deep breath, okay, have some fun, be always in the same. You're going to make mistakes. Every one of you is going to make mistakes. Let's figure out a way to make it right. He really did a good job of several different things. He could coach the position, he could develop the game, he could correct it.
their willingness to work. Our players still putting the team first, and they are working towards positive change.
He's going to get this organization back on track. So, good. It was nice to meet you. Thank you so much. In the right direction and make them a powerhouse again. I just believe in Mike Vrabel. He's on the field. He's taking part of the way he says it, because he did it. He played it, and he's just as smart as the guys that coached him at it. And he's a burly mother. Like, he's a big man. He's a lumber. Master. I think he got 4 or 6 plays in him.
Midway through my sophomore year, I switched my major to computer science, where I learned programming, data structures, algorithms. Having a background in the arts allowed me to pursue my dream of starting a company where I visually design and program an application that I hope will improve the education system.
I want to make sure that everybody's proving themselves to the team every single day, earning the right to be here. Holding each other accountable.
Yeah, he's not gonna pinch on top. Not to level 19. Not that fire seriously. Because every dealer has that.
And you were hoping for it.
I just need a. Oh, my allowance is ready.
Josh McDaniels is the offensive coordinator, and he is nothing short of exactly what the doctor was.
It's a wonderful feeling. This gives me a little bit of how much you enjoy it, you love it, but most importantly, the people that you enjoy doing the game with every day. And this place has such a special attraction to me, my family. It's home for me, and I'm blessed and fortunate to have an opportunity to come back into this organization and to work for Mike, who I've known for more than 20 years.
And the field as a team back in the gold line. Josh McDaniels says
Yeah, I mean, he was on that crew, that scouting assistant, coaching assistant role. You know, picked us up. I think I was with maybe Larry Izzo, maybe I think Anthony Pleasant might have been on that trip.
Yeah, I picked a lot of people up to the airport. 2001, if you remember, that free agent class was pretty big. You know, whether it was David Patton and Mike Vrabel, there was a lot of people that came from other places and accumulated onto our team back then. Put together and that
develop me. You develop Tom. Put me in the all you need that, with these young bucks these days. The D's. Nick D. And then they hired defensive coordinator too, Terrell Williams, who Vrabel had on his staff in Tennessee, coaching defensive line.
Let's go, man. Can't wait to watch you play.
And the assistant head coach. I mean, that Tennessee front four was always stupendous.
Well, whenever you go out there, I want to see you not. All right? Make sure you're ready to go.
You know, Fred, we have a great relationship. We worked together for 6 years in Tennessee.
All right, brother. All good.
Our relationship grew there, and I know what he's all about. A lot of people may think the opportunity to be a coordinator was a big reason for coming here, but a lot of it was Mike Vrabel.
He's an outstanding teacher, great human being, somebody that's team first, hard worker. I think he's got a good vision for what he wants to do, and certainly I know what Vrabel's going to want to do out there. They've worked together.
All right? Good job, Nick. Hey, Shaq, I just want to see you attack.
He's just top notch. Like, that was the hardest thing is that when I got Terrell, a year later he's gone.
The CEO head coach of the Patriots has made two really
Masturbation.
Mike are those two terrific coordinator hires on top of Vrabel being brought back.
Work on Mike's on? No,
For practice. We also pretty much pretty good collection of some of the best draft eligible players in this class. Get all these players together to practice. What they are, how they are, how dependable they are, how durable they are, they collect all the situation on what things they are, and you get to see for yourself what you think it is. That's do their value, do their stories, and their side, something else on the story. You can clean up each and every time, sometimes it's true. I have companies that are not having new information, new tape, new interviews, new everything. So I like this company
Well, also, really the last opportunity to see the players in a real football setting, like compete in a one-on-one setting, maybe get an exposure to see them in a different position than what they played in college, so we can properly evaluate the performance and really, at school level, or whatever the system is, that they're doing even more versatile system. So it's really kind of hard for us to what we got in there. Certain players have more than based on their body weight, based on their level of competition. There's things that we look for specific guys based on what evidence we have up to this point. Because that's ultimately what this is. We're projecting what it'll look like in the NFL. That's where we use this time definitely thought or had doubts about. And then on the flip side, we can definitely change our mind based on new information that we're continuing to gather.
These opportunities are great because it's our first chance to really kind of rub elbows with the process. And now we get to see them not only participate on the field, but see body language. We've got the energy. We love guys that compete.
I like to get on the field early and try to get the body type for the players, and then eventually, once the team period starts, get up top and really try to focus on some of the things
offensive line on one side, I like to watch 7-on-7. You try to get more out of that. There's not going on the rest of it. That's important as well.
Just wanted to get together and talk about practice day one, identifying the varieties of safety, receiver.
Yeah, I thought the national team, they had a better practice in terms of giving us to evaluate. I thought Walden Kyle Williams had the best day, athletic component off the field. I think it's very good. The line of teams are both such a good team. And I look at we're talking about a significant number of players that have started out with the Williams team. On that one team, front players can come a lot, especially O-line, D-line gets super physical and competitive, and the combine and the underwear Olympics, that's where it's less important for them. This is where it's important, where they're putting the pads on and playing physical. 90% of these guys get drafted versus, maybe 50% in this game. So, this is such a high power roster. There's even more guys that are going to go potential day one, and definitely can go through that here. I was honored when we got the first big deal that you had up there. So he's going to me to rush this week in a lot of ways because he's a violent, disruptive, penetrating, about trying to play with players and runs. That's what they're seeing. So right on the other side of the line, Tony's messed up. He has all that. Tony play. So in the easy time when we got the interview session, we get the opportunity to get to know him. This is maybe the first one. For the team to a game plan for each player that we're trying to use and the information we get from them here. So it's about just interview with fit, personality, things that they said, and then evaluating that practice and then going back and seeing what they did in the season. But we got to make sure that we're bringing in great people, that we believe in the people, that we trust, and that the ability also matches. Really some special stories, special people that I enjoy getting to know, have a vision for as a coach and as an organization.
Find the perfect mattress for your best sleep during the
How we make you feel tonight. And it's Christian cost nothing but the new one. Now Straight Shot Driving is built with the protection you need for drugs, so you can stay on the water. That's the difference. Long level, all performance, and Straight Shot Driving. Because there are no range.
Before we go to the
Come on.
It's all about being representative of the future and leave your family and try to get to see that. One of the first things we take care of is
I could probably hold up. This just seems like a change. So.
Was kind of going to meetings. It's a smart, it's physical.
Just a little more.
Biggest thing where it's non-negotiable. It's hard to bring players to the table
There's a lot of names, there's a lot of personalities.
You know, it's been really cool working with Coach Green. He has a lot of great ideas and vision for the team.
All we're trying to do in this process is get the players to be as authentic as possible and how they can add to our roster and our team and the vision that we have for them.
I think it is together, too. I wanted to get from Scott and just about how people will be. We've been going pretty good. I feel like getting down there and helping and being able to talk to them on a little bit, getting to know especially like that, you know, new guys, and once they do get real ready to do the season, we need to be like, see how much you guys do like that around, so I will get really so workouts start tomorrow. We have a paper practice, and then if you want to try to take it off tomorrow after so watching the workout football, my favorite thing, I'll watch them workout myself. It's one after the other.
I'm just going to try to make a the first number kind of actually kind of boring. I don't want to see it. Come on, I'm going to crack some stuff.
What is your approach to having a number 4 pick? Are you opposed to trading or listening or
everybody can do it. What they're going to do right now. Two goals back, 2 goes to take. All 2 goes 1, 2, and 3. I do a bit of play with what we may do it for. I think we always and that's what somebody had, but we felt like it would strengthen our football. I mean, it's very fast.
After running the sub-540, unofficially the only one in the South.
Just impressive body of work. You get to see it play for LSU, all of that tackle, nobody even missed a game there. Just incredibly dependable, big, strong, athletic kid, high impact protector, extremely agile, quick, balanced, really instinctive and tactical.
He's advanced, especially player, but still experience.
They got one of the top free agents on the board. Covered up his defensive lineman, Milton Reed. Obviously, they signed Harold Landry the third to get their quarterback. Now they're signing Bob Foley to aside and put myself on the line. I would think that the historical past is about me growing up as a kid and seeing the pictures of my life. Being part of historic franchise is something that is near and dear to my heart, and I can't wait to add my legacy to it. I got to play for Coach Brady 8 years ago at Tennessee, and then I found out I was going to have the opportunity to play for him again as history that's been in this room, the greats that walk through these tunnels like Tom Brady, Vince Wilfork, Coach Vrabel, so to be able to continue that and be a part of something that you believe in yourself is the ideal way of just coming out here and just being a patriot. When you put on that New England uniform, it's almost like that mystique to it. And I felt like, it was an easy choice for me to be able to come back here where it all started, where I met my wife in DC, and really where my career took off. I feel like as a football player.
In addition to those, the Pats adding defensive tackle, Kyrus Tonga.
There was a lot about administration and how the players talk and Patriot players because they always respect the organization and the work that came with it. Being in the stadium gave me some goosebumps on what it can be. I'm excited just to do it.
Matt Collins, underrated, big, physical player. If he plays for your team, you're going to love him. He'll give you 30 degrees below you or he's not going to shoot.
I want people to push me to be the best I can, and I think that's kind of the philosophy that they have.
That's work. Very busy today. Oh, by default, it's well designed, efficient. I appreciate that. You think you fix it. Keep the breed out of your belly.
Hola. Oh, cuma, hola, Oye, ¿por qué son marcos por estilo? ¿Qué puto?
I think I'm good. The players are designing and so we what them to do is just
When I think about Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez, I think it'd be a brilliant now to say, we're going to take two guys out of the game because you have two corners who can go out there and match up and play in the back, play outside and just take somebody away. I think that was just, you got him, let's go on. Well, people are going to the rest of the defense. Play the role for 7 seconds sometimes. So I can't wait to see this 10
No. Bien. Oh.
He always gonna work hard. He always gonna see the players on the team get better. He's just a leader.
You know, you're going to hear a lot of people, and I believe it as well. We like to draft, develop, and then retain well. Because those are the people that you afford to think to, you know that they're. And to be able to go is another way to address issues on your team.
We develop these great competitions around the world to be more flexible with our draft strategy.
When this year's creating people up, it's probably going to look a lot different than last year's creating people. And I think that's the process. As you go into the creative process, it kicks off really roster building season. Is what other things we need to address the most? What can set us up the best to be able to take the best players available in the draft? And year to year, that's not changing. You know, it just becomes one of those things that the draft developing retain is a great concept, but if you draft well enough, ultimately you can't play them all. So that's why it's got to be a conscious shift. And we just have to be intentional about not only the players that we find through the team, but who those people are. Because as I said before, the people make a big difference.
Filling a lot of those needs through free agency, and again, just open up that flexibility for the draft. Take the best players available each place.
You think about all the
¿Dónde está el maldito de los vecinos?
What's up?
Bro.
What's up? You know what it is. I did nothing. The guy in the black hat turned bro. You gotta hurt me. I'm trying to kill somebody in the red field.
Ultimately, I wanted to watch the It was my job to do everything that I could in my power to hold my spot against the players who were trying
I think it could be fun, because we're so prepared. We've done we're ready to go.
Come here, man. Come here. Oh! Come here. Háganlo cachitos, háganlo cachitos.
we're gonna get this thing right. Really excited about working with Coach Grable and his staff. Let's get that. Appreciate it.
Tennessee has submitted its pick. Cleveland is on the clock.
Can't work. I haven't done a process exactly like this. How organized it is, how controlled it is. It's been really cool to see that come to fruition.
Cleveland has played its pick. Jacksonville is on the clock.
I've known Elliot for a long time. Just being in the starting position. To discover how is it communication? There's a willingness to challenge each other. There's a willingness to challenge ideas. That's been a big part of our relationship.
Jacksonville has submitted its pick. The Giants are on the clock.
This football team, getting good players, and good defense.
Giants have submitted its pick. New England is on the clock.
Do it. Get that. Let's do it. You do it.
Hello.
Will,
What's going on?
how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Just say this is teamwork. I got Elliot Wolf right here. He's on the line. He's ready to fill you in on the team.
What's up?
What you got?
I think I just got some heat from that place you were telling me about.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, we got a couple more minutes here for the Sunday.
Exactly. Your personal place to leave with you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Here's our pick.
I'm fine. Want to be the last one you know. This is the next one. Make you do this practice too. Everybody's gonna have a problem. You think you should do it. And try to work through that. Make sure you tell everybody that helps you get it. Okay. So I'm going to talk to Mr. Kraft, okay? Yes, sir. Okay. Congratulations. We're excited to have you. And I look forward to meeting you soon. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. You do well.
Gringo lah. Yeah. Gringo, man. I have Frost AK if anyone wants to trade. Hey, man. What's up? What's up, man? No. No, man, no.
See it? Hey, man.
Keep me.
Thank y'all for coming out. I wish I could over there, but...
21? No.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. I'm excited. Thank y'all
Sit there. What's that say? Oh, sweet. That's nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna see when this timer's over. Okay.
The other team didn't even have a locker room.
So guys, it's been it's a minute now. I'm gonna do something. So you know when you're and we're gonna do like I think I just figured out how to solve that. So you see, Bruno, they can hit your arm, but they won't really get you. So yeah, you could. We're sliding behind the car. And plus, when you slide, it makes you cramp. So you could be like pew 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 pew. Then while you're crouching, then you can pew pew pew. I gotta do it while I'm crouching. Pew 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 pew. Like that. So now it's about 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I'm gonna hit level 19. Machete? I'm a meal person, so find people on my Instagram because I like meals to sauce.
I was sitting there and see I was waiting and I kind of had a feeling it was coming and I was just super thankful. I just wanted to be here, this is where I wanted to be, and I just tried to put myself in the best position possible to make that happen. We're coming here to win, we want to win games. I just want to be the best player I can be the best teammate I can be, and be the best person I can be, and everything else will take care of itself. You have to love violence to be able to play in offense and defensive line. Whenever you're going out there, it's either you or him, and I want it to be me every time. I think it's a good thing for them to pick up the jobs, I think. Yeah.
long, talked about moving on, and ultimately we didn't feel the value of being off the court for possibly reasons of unfavorable, so we just ended up saying, okay, we need to get
You just weigh the options of, do we feel like we can get this player later, or is this a player that we would stick and pick? And so
I knew that was going to happen, so I didn't really want to buy it. Did.
He's a fun one because I think he's self-sufficient.
And then I gotta wait. What should I just rob a store? So I should just rob. I could find a store. Rob. If you want some money, I'll give him 50.
Looking good?
They don't say get or stand and pose, but make no mistake about it. That's all I'm asking. Built for strong balance, very good balance. And like the word DFA, new to both strength, speed, and performance at every stage. For your great talent, there's great nutrition. The way to go. You're in New England Patriots. That's cool.
I'm ready to go online. I know you're ready to go. You made an impact on us in that 30 days. Everybody really helped you. And we're trying to get everybody that helped you do this. We love everyone. That's what we're trying to do.
Machete is actually a good weapon if you ever buy one. It's actually a good weapon. I'm going to rob the place. Of course. First I gotta make sure, is it still in I'm not wasting my time now. How about the fireplace?
traded Pitt. Carolina is on the clock.
Credit is $100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
You always look at the phone.
The hell today?
Hey, Tim,
Just a little bit, that's a lot.
So sometimes you don't feel as convicted about the player that you want to, so you might try to trade back.
Okay. All right.
That's on the So acquiring more picks is always a good thing. You get more picks, gives you more chances to get the Bears for
Keep on your computer broken. Is the pizza one still broken? Somehow.
Kansas City is on the clock. Kansas City has made a selection.
It is very, very gratifying when one of your players gets picked.
I'm ready, you man. Come here.
Scouts take a lot of pride in our work. Every one of us in the room has a passion. It's obviously a pretty big deal to be a scout here. Local guy, grew up here, been a Pats fan my entire life.
Yeah, first year started ascending.
Before you expect it, we talk to the scouts. We're not, there's teams that don't always involve the scouts and draft there, and so the players the best, probably really better than themselves. So when we really boil it down, it's important for those guys to be involved and to feel involved because they absolutely are.
Good, man. You ready to go? I got Elliot Wolfe on the line ready to fill you in. New England has tremendous space. Philadelphia is on the clock. How you doing?
You ready?
Wait, no, wait.
Alright, they're sending me a graduation.
Hey, buddy, take a big deep breath, okay? You okay? I know you have. Just take a big deep breath and enjoy it, okay, man? Good.
Big one.
Welcome to day 3 of the 2025 NFL Draft. You have to be more excited than the people that picked you. Frank Wilson, boys, let's go.
137 to 144. We just traded up for it.
Detroit is on the clock.
Everybody in the organization, the game
Pay dividend in the upcoming season.
Whatever they want to go and draft that, we really don't care. What matters is if we feel like our processes led us to those picks. If we did those things in our processes, then I'm going to be extremely happy with that, and so should our staff.
I'm going me at the same time. They ain't mad 'cause we still winning. Old place my old life.
Dad may not see anyone by himself. He thinks. If I don't, that will be a sign. Stop, but there's still time to stop. Before you step over the line. You can never come back.
Or simply take time to maintain your own thoughts. I'm just going out this corner that I will reach every need. That's what it's important.
your system or your scheme mentally,
So the Cavs stick over the franchise. My objective in doing this is to help bring the championship to New England.
It's gonna be a lot less.
So you can't even put it into words, getting brought into a program and an organization like this. I have a great opportunity to be a part of a historic franchise that's, won 6 Super Bowls.
There's 32 players in the Hall of Fame. Andre Tippett came to us in the second round my first year here under Saxon.
You all look around the room, appreciate who you are, because you're the National Football League, which you stand to not belong. So you gotta stay around, you gotta figure out how you're gonna find your niche. And you gotta contribute, and you got to be accountable. You gotta show resilience, and you just gotta make it happen.
All the numbers were great, but his work ethic was everywhere. In the 7th round, Julian Edelman, he's going in the Hall of Fame during the football season.
And realize all you can do is put your best foot forward every single day and try to win that day. Whenever I got into
to get the most out of this experience that you possibly can. Thank you.
Good. Yep. Which color is he coming from? That the far.
Sometimes it's going to work out. I got a lot of my stuff. I get to go work with Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel. It really goes back a long time. My mom and dad both went to John Carroll. And growing up, my mom and dad always showed me and talked about all these guys that were coaching in the NFL that went to their college. McDaniels and all the work. What's going on here in Moline, and obviously Josh is a big part of it. The playbook is just so much more detailed and more structured to think about, especially as a center. And it's a great football power. It's a system that I've not obviously been a part of. There are things that are new, which what keeps it great. Okay. What do you want to do over here? So once you learn the system, then you have to figure out, okay, now how do I teach this system? Either direction, and that's the kind of mindset that we're taking.
I'm going to start with the positive. I think the vision of Mike Vrabel that was put in season, I think it's the way they practice.
And this is the next step. This is how we start to practice.
Everybody's just so welcoming here, and the vibes are great here.
I'll show you.
He's enjoying every bit of it.
There's only 11,000. Come on.
Relative to the red zone, we'll hit I think the things that are appropriate, not going to go for points, but hit the key points. Like, we're going to get some eight-man rock, we're going to get some things that make them play, if that
Gotta get
happens,
the BC defense on. Okay. Just so kill anyone you see. But if I kill, you're dead. It's normally on this too.
From my past that we had studied, a lot of the history offensively.
Nah, I'm just gonna be playing
being on the inside and learning the system has been really exciting.
Well, I'm just gonna drop it for him.
So in period one, is he going to go with both quarterbacks?
He will be with the second.
So we'll just make sure we get as much with Dobbs as we can so we don't have any issues.
In order for an offensive line to understand, it first starts with the plan. Each play and understanding the details. How we need to make sure that play goes.
The big thing I would like us to do is really make sure that the guys that are out there keep pressing forward and making sure we know what to do. Cut the yard, guys bang as hard down the on the motor.
I'm cooked.
But as a young coach and a professional,
As much as we can try to get our installation, very aggressive, opportunity to hopefully now really competitive and pad and all that. They're playing fast, not thinking as much, and have an opportunity to go out there and compete, and we can make, faster progress. Good to go? All right, so we'll start together, and then linemen will be out quick, and skill guys will finish, and then you guys are going to go over, and we'll start playing. Good?
Trenches on both sides of the ball and doing, that's a style relatively bad.
being a part of OTAs and then seeing how every day, guys prepare to take the field, and it's about just kind of like come out here and learn from guys. And I think we got a great group of guys that are young and every day. Quicker hands, fire, go. Powerful and athletic we feel. There you go. That looks and feels powerful from here.
Well, it starts in the off season, and then be ready to be a hard worker. Put in the hours, come in early, stay late. Chemistry has to be built from the classroom out to the field. And this is part of the whole 5 guys doing stuff. And you know your goals.
Every interaction with a player either builds trust or takes trust away. That is something you're really cognizant of, is making sure you're communicating well enough with the players, and making sure what you're saying is what the players are hearing.
We wanted each other's have your teammates and coaches respect.
And then,
Whatever it takes to be real professional. Willing to put in the hours. Everyone at this stage comes down to the whole There's no pushing here. It was hard work and dedication.
Does a really good job of stressing those guys that, all 3 of us, personally, and if they have questions, they can ask all 3 of us.
these after school sessions have been unprecedented knowledge. They teach us stuff that you really only learn from playing in a bunch of games. Or the moments you can not just in interactions with us, but in those interactions that you can see on the field. He looks like a great leader.
I think Morgan has done a great job. It's the right type of message, the right type of leadership that he's been able to give to us. I think as a player, when you come to this league and you see someone that has had, success, as a young player, you can learn a lot. And the way you can learn a lot is if you have players such as Morgan that's going to open up and be able to help them, and he's done that.
All season, bro, you work on the bag 24/7, bro. And like, when you come out here and you got a guy that's 4 or 5 and you get attacking your hands, it takes time for your feet and your hands to catch up, bro. It's just getting the guys together, man. After practice, at the end of the day, when you are able to do that, it broke up the offensive line, goes a long way. You got new blood. You need more promotion. All the guys in the game,
Just seeing him on the field, he's down, and kind of see from kind of first time I really heard his voice and I think kind of his want to protect and hold the guy. I think that's something we want to left back on. And also I put the other day of him in our rep in practice, just knocking somebody up and asking him to text him like kind of stuff fires me up. The toughness, the effort, the coachability, and availability. I think those things I was able to see in Will as a maybe 18-year-old or 6-year-old were the same things that I was able to see in the time that I got to know him during the draft process. fighting the football.
Dropping down, right? Different forms of cover two. I know, but you see them places come down, right? I think there's a lot of natural movement of quality. I think to continue to encourage him and to put him in those positions to do that. Good, louder, be louder. There we go, good, that's it. So that the players understand that there's a different version of all of us. Hey, listen to hands now, listen in. Listen in. Pulling it back. Pulling with the tight ends and the back, they're going to come with it too. Yeah, that's the lifeblood of our coaching staff. And they work the players much more than I am. Their job is to teach, develop, and inspire and make a connection. Yeah, I don't want to
just that much more. That's what I'm really trying to do. Great job. All the players now. Time as well, but the step with the follow through with the alignment if we have doing the job, that's what keeps me happy. I get it. From the coaching staff, I enjoy coaching the guys that are playing and our communities and doing this whole thing. The fun part is when you
take a player who maybe isn't doing something the way you want it done, and all of a sudden you see them take it from individual to team, and you see the success of that. Stay up, care of each other, work with each other, and also compete with each other. That's getting accomplished. Let the players understand what their job is and how to do it. We got Will's got to stay on the field, and Traylon's got the safety. And give them ways to be successful, find creative ways to help them do their job.
These are veteran coaches who aren't first timers. Littered throughout the coaching You got to be able to do both based on what is happening in the game. If you got to all be on the same page. Clearly, Mike Vrabel has established a coaching staff that he trusts. He's out of one of them, but he do. He caught it like a angel falling from the sky. Big day for the tight end. He runs up a it's just first thing to give you a shot to gain positive yards.
Oh Lord, no.
Everyone's being on the same page, scoring the results, and the progress for the team.
No, it's up, man, it's up.
for the ball. The coaching staff is always going to welcome dissenting point of views, conflicting point of views, try to find out what the real answer is.
I think the way he did it was good, right? And then the other guy would do that as he's running away from the street. This is thinking, man, I'm going to win my man around and the guy was telling me go. I mean, that's very good. This is a good answer for everybody. Big player, just over it. He just goes straight. Yeah. So it's, you just have to close your home over the year.
Trying to be consistent, be direct. Those are things that players appreciate. You have to give Coach the timing for that. On how we want to work or how we want to play.
Okay. Fellas, if you travel, have a safe weekend, huh?
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. 23 on Sunday.
Hi,
and then Jack turns 21 on Monday. Uh-oh.
And where they can use those skills to bring joy and happiness into the community of people, maybe in less fortunate situations.
Celebrity status, part of that responsibility now says to you that you have to do something to help the community get better than what it is. And it should be pressed upon you to those that can't help themselves.
So it's a very new event to have taken the entire team out into the more than 2,100 people that we serve every day. In years past, we've been able to bring events throughout the entire year. And to have an opportunity to bring the entire team out was unique and different.
It really takes the community working together to end homelessness. So thank you for being part of our community.
To have a head coach that's heavily involved, we know that when the leader of your team is spending time with you, it's going to follow suit so that the players are going to want to get more involved.
I just want to thank the team and everybody that works here. What you guys do is much more important than what we do. So thank you for having us and thank you for what you do.
To be able to choose different nonprofit organizations and schools, to be able to align with different groups of players, to be able to share with them, this is what it's going to be all about throughout the season. This is where you can get involved and do things.
This is probably one of the best ways that any of our young guys, our rookies, our free agents that come in here to dive into the community, find something that they like. And that's a good way for people to know who you are, find out what kind of character you are, what type of work ethic you have. We're blessed to have the Kraft family. When they bought the team, not only were they excited about changing their economy here from a football standpoint, they also an opportunity to set up a foundation and make for you guys to be doing some appearances. It's really cool in the beginning.
As thrilled as I am today, I'm mindful of the responsibility and use it as a partnership.
When I was playing, we didn't have this type of access, and I wish I had done more as a player. Nothing to the level of these guys having now social media and the fact that the league is taking on it's an amazing opportunity to really say something about it's the best way to get people.
be the best player you can be, and then the player across from you is trying to be the best player they can be, and you can work together and helping each other.
There's so many little things that everybody needs to do. There's the field. The more we do well, the more we can trust each other. And we'll continue to focus on those things that emphasize the kind of identity that we want to create here.
We're competing, we're taking care of each other, we're rushing, we're staying up on the back. Holding up there in the bargain to be ready to go when you start. It's going to be good, and it's going to be bad, and then we're going to come together, and we're going to pair.
Waiter. Waiter. Waiter.
Do what you gotta do when you're supposed to do it. Practice makes perfect, bro. You gotta keep chasing that. I know it's hard to be perfect, but pats on me, pats on 3, 1, 2,
Hey, no.
hopefully we can all learn they can all grow together, they've embraced it, and to see what it looks like in training camp and trying to start the path over again.
Quarterbacks, Chad Pennington's pick in the first round, Chris Redmond's pick in the fourth round, Giovanni Carmona was picked in the third round, I think. Steve Martin was picked in the fifth round. Spurgeon Williams picked. There was one other guy who wants to go. Mark Dozier. The Red Sox is winning contract. A quarterback who would become one of the best of all time. Was a big Tom Brady knew as much then as experts will tell you now. It's not easy to identify good players, and even harder to predict NFL quarterbacks. We just know what we need. You know, you have these guys that are yeah, they have the ability to stand back there and pocket. But this guy was open by 10 yards. I think you have the same thing when you stand back there and pocket when the guy's hitting him and throwing to a guy that's open by 1 yard. What time's the game? 3:30? You'll stay
There's no greater leader in intercollegiate athletics than Tom Brady. He's handled the decision this year in a way
Make no mistake, Tom Brady fearlessly right here. The Alabama game, in my experience in Michigan, is as fine a performance quarterback as anybody ever had.
we give you a little to come back here. You didn't really have to wait till the fourth quarter to bring the team back, but you did a tremendous job. We're going to wave off the senior and then we're going to get
You would think that was achievement, but the graduation of trophy was looking for a quarterback in the outside game. Brady's struggle for recognition continued. Bobby Greer, who was with the Patriots at the time, talked about they were going to draft a quarterback late. I just said, Bobby, I guarantee you. The draft report on it. First grade goes poor build, skinny, physical stature and strength, lack the ability to avoid the rush, back to roll strong arm, can't drive the ball downfield, really player who can get exposed to force to add lift and just knock down easily.
That kind of gets me fired up because I'm thinking, the hell these people know. That sounds like Montana right there.
As a kid, he grew up 20 minutes from Kansas State Park. That's exactly in the end zone when Dwight Clark made the catch. In 2008, you knew all about Tom? Tom's from Sarah High School, right at the street. Tall, angry-looking kid, looked like having a well, 5'2" something. Throwing the ball, throws another ball. Coaches at Michigan really scaring me. For instance, Joe Montana. Of course, they had decided to be units. We even had a local tournament in San Francisco where the kids from the local colleges or the local high schools can come by and have a workout. And Tom was there. And Bill was there. And we're all there. And Tom and Claire it would say, hey, we need to practice this 40 times and that vertical time. And 32 years of doing it.
Seriously, that's kind of OP.
What's that? Oh, what? Kaka.
Because you're only human, there's hills. Science does more.
You did everything right, school, job, taxes, and somehow you're still buried in student loans. There's
What?
a program right now.
765-667. 765-667. Oh, so
the loan companies don't want this to happen, but it's already started. Relief is real, and they can't stop it now.
If you're watching this on TV, point your camera at that QR code right now, and you have to claim it. Thousands of Americans have already used this relief program. Scan the QR code. Don't wait.
Time out. He's a quarterback who was ranked second on your board behind Jack Baker. Tell me where he fits in this current quarterback situation. Well, he was probably the best quarterback in the draft as far as athletic ability. This is others were just about to take him to the league. So that was one of the better choices. We were in the draft for it. It was the 5th round. We are the top 3 quarterbacks at the time. We had just signed our number 1 quarterback. We were going for a lot of money. Remember, Belichick walked up the court and said, wow, this thing is still on the court.
One of the real troubling parts of the Michigan situation was the fact that really they were trying to replace him as their starting quarterback and say, okay, they don't really want this guy as their starting quarterback. They want another guy.
Because he was first 5
Running back J.R. Redmond, who finished his career with less than 700 rushing yards.
Captain Greg Robinson Randall was after just 3 seasons. And with the 199th overall pick, they selected a skinny quarterback from Michigan named Tom Brady.
There's nothing we can really do about the whole Clinton situation.
Brady made his share of rookie mistakes. The skin, cold, a young man walked over and said, "Hi, Mr. Kraft, I want to introduce myself. I'm a 6th-round draft choice, and I always remember he looked me like a laser eye to eye, and he said, that's right, and I'm the best decision this organization has ever made." I remember calling my agent, I said, "I think I want to buy a house. This is too much of a picture." And he's like, "Are you nuts? You know, why did you make it too?" I said, "I don't want to don't worry about that. No, let's just make sure we get a good interest rate."
37 days ago, Steve Young of the 49ers 20-year dynasty. From Montana and Young, we now have Garcia and Meyer. But perhaps the starter of the future is 23-year-old Giovanni Carmazzi.
You can't really set your expectations to play like with Joe Montana or Steve Young, but just the fact that they considered me a good guy who maybe someday could add certain skills of his shoes. I'm very proud of that.
What's the deal here? Yeah, but what's the down distance and how much time do you have?
Oh, 2 seconds, okay.
All right, so you're out of bounds. 1 foot on the number, right there. Right there. That's the difference between like 5 yards and 12 yards. Here versus here. Put it where you want it.
This kid had all the measurables. He was fast, he was athletic, he was strong, he was smart. They had Oscar, his Oscar coming to the national championship. No, but they had a lot of good players and a lot of good players. But it became evident. First Jeez. 2 days after Joe Montana was I think we walked out of that game feeling that we'd probably taken the right guy. I'm telling you, when you get on the field and another team has knocked your head off, they've got to be able to handle that mentally, emotionally. And some do, some will love it, and some that makes them very nervous. And they lose some confidence. To this day, I believe that Gio, he got off on the wrong foot against the Patriots in the preseason game. And boy, I think some doubt kept him. The reason we didn't release him was because we felt that we didn't want to take a chance on losing him, and so we carried him up to a quarterback we wanted to make a play, and it was really a wasted roster spot for the 2000 season, but we felt that Tom had enough potential to continue to improve, so that's why we stayed in that. I didn't play big time college football, that kind of deal. I never really had a great year. We didn't win a whole bunch of games. Spurs had a strong arm. I mean, make no mistake about that. But Tom Brady was the best quarterback in my draft record. And then when I came to Cleveland and played with some of these quarterbacks, I'm like, wow. These are all the we got here. And I'm like, sixth round. It's just unbelievable. It's just mind-blowing. It's just this is Spurs is a good chemistry.
That's it. But you gotta make that decision earlier. So we have
my expectation was that I wasn't going to play my first year. We had one young kid, Tim Johnson, played a bunch of years, been everywhere. I was so hurt. Looking back, it's probably a mistake to even have that kind of thought process. After the injury, 40 minutes of game took in the couch. It was trial by fire. Everybody's favorite. Look at this. Yeah, come on there. Come on there. All right. Just want to throw it to you on TV there.
Tom Brady had a really good year in his year. The moment he prepared for, the minute he was drafted. A lot of people don't believe in him. Other than his obvious hard, 6 other quarterbacks taking him, 198 other picks. And I always thought, you know what, once I get my shot, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to really put it on the line. I remember we were on California for a wedding, and we were talking, and he said, I'm going to beat out you guys. We talked about a picture, but this dude, what? Football quarterback. Dude, I'm telling you, you start throwing the ball hard. Hard. I got no gloves on. We signed Damon Hewitt in 2001 when I was the backup quarterback. So by the end of training camp, Tom was doing live and really had a better preseason than we did. There's no way I'm even going to get that job back to you. Tom Brady has been putting the quarterback and his blood cell taken out. The story is very real. Bledsoe waiting for him to stay in the job. Brady led the Patriots to the AFC East title in 2001. Twice leading the coach. The future takes care.
tired late in the game. Many expected the Ravens to win.
In those last 2 weeks, I got a glimpse of what Tom Brady would become. He's a guy that 41 seconds left. He's a guy that can find ways to win games, setting up the winning field goal to beat us.
In the 2001 season, Tom Brady led the Patriots to one of the biggest upsets in Super Bowl history. It was more than a feat for the 199th pick in the 2000 draft. But he wasn't even the first quarterback to get a ring.
Because we felt like we were getting a late first-time ballot.
So he set the national record for touchdown passes in a season with 57.
Chris Redman, touchdown, great pass again.
Like Tom Brady, Redman was recruited by Michigan.
As far as recruiting goes, what's the most memorable recruiting story you have so far? I tried to say when I was at my girlfriend's house, and I had no idea who it was, and all of a sudden it's a girlfriend, and I was like, hello, and this is what Michigan was calling, and I had no idea. I mean, they were calling you at the girlfriend's house, so they kind of go to extremes.
Redman ended up staying home at the University of Louisville, where he became their all-time leading passer. But he was just another guy in Baltimore, educated in the nuances of the football.
No, I want to cue that way I can look here and see by first line down distance if there's any tendency to what they're doing. You just keep going.
Chris Redman is a coach's son, and we had high expectations for Chris. We thought he could process the game a little bit faster than he did. And it just didn't turn out for him. I was out of the league for a couple of years, actually selling insurance on the streets. It's not good. You have to play a lot of golf, be outside, and be a people person, which I am. But I found out that it's tough. You know, I found it being harder than football because I was not really good at it. You know, I was like, man, if I get a chance to do the football thing, I want to make sure that I make the best of it.
In the spring of 2002, Redman got another chance. A tryout with the New England Patriots.
You know, Chris is a big, strong kid. Physically had good talent, but after working with him for a period of time, we just felt that there were other options.
Redman was nearly Brady's teammate. Chad Penny was his brother. Penny was the first
Yeah, was it over here?
Penny became the starter in 2002. He led the Jets to the division title, beating out Brady's Patriots. But after that, the rivalry was 1-7. Brady won 7 of the next 8 years, while injuries struck Penny's
being a quarterback, being a leader, is being on the field. And you never want to see someone do your job. Like Brett Favre, he never came off the field, never even gave him a chance to play the quarterback to get his job. That's how I feel. I don't ever want anyone to ever think, hey, maybe someone could do Tom's job better than he could do it. In the 2003 season, Brady led the Patriots to another Super Bowl. And in the last minute game-winning run, another Super Bowl. To me, what separates really good players from great players, execute well under pressure. The biggest games, the greatest stage, I think that's what playing quarterback's all about. Brady became the youngest quarterback to win 3 Super Bowl titles. Ron Boswell was there for the finished school quarterback that was played for the Cowboys. Another name, in the first few games that he played, I mean, he was really, really spectacular. And good patience by that ball. So, unfortunately for me, it made me expendable. Nice. Really nice. Boy, that's pretty. That's beautiful. How about you, huh? Listen, what it is, man, you're the best. Unfortunately, I don't think all the pieces were around him. Some people had to be replaced. I remember I was playing for Chargers. Messing with LC last year. We're gonna beat you guys. This guy's overrated. This guy can beat by W's. And everything that he said when he left, we're in trouble. Sure enough, 2 minutes ago, he kind of gave me a look, and I go, yes. Tom Brady was driven to himself by the 6 quarterbacks drafted in the There's no way that any of us really thought that Tom was going to become a quarterback that he became in the NFL. Like him, Brady was a piece for a constant.
When it's down and away, you drop your shoulder. You gotta see it. Down and away, you gotta stay up on it.
My high school was into baseball, and I love baseball. I was much better baseball player going into high school.
You like baseball? Pitcher and catcher. I love
Audio shuttle.
Can't figure it out back there. Pitchers are too mental.
He got drafted in the 18th round, but we were told had he not committed
It's Amberly.
he would have been a second or third round pick. Brady gave up baseball.